Coming up on the FTC Open Alliance Show, 17012 Precision Guessworks is back to give an update on their Into the Deep robot progress. In addition to building their own competition bot, they've been experimenting and customizing with the FTC Everybot and provide their own take on how this has been a learning experience for their team. We'll also dive into some parts for the robot they've created, future updates, and a bit more into their CAD, and of course how their Boathook is looking to work out. So let's get ready for the FTC Open Alliance Show. And let's welcome back onto the FTC Open Alliance Show, 17012 Precision Guessworks coming in from Indiana, and lots of cool stuff to show up here. Obviously, we have the Everybot we'll be talking about, a lot more great stuff too. So welcome back to your team. Two of you are new, so why don't you all just reintroduce yourselves, let us know who you are, and we're going to jump into your Everybot and a lot of other great stuff too.
My name is Jadron. I'm a senior in high school. I've been doing this for 4 years, been on this team for 3. This is my third one.
My name is Kira. I'm a junior in high school. This is my third year on FTC 17012 team.
My name is Christopher Root. I'm a sophomore. This is my third year at Jeff Robotics. So for the Everybot, we found, and we don't know what causes it, but the arm falls down. So we're going to try and see what's wrong with that. And then I've had to rebuild this intake so much because our servo's broken because it doesn't spin. It's so hard.
So with the FTC Everybot on here, so you've faced some challenging, obviously you've gone through. Are you making modifications? Is this directly what the FTC Everybot specs are? Talk to me more about like how that is.
We've changed the wheels and the motors and some of the positions of like the control hub and the battery. But for the most part, it is what they said to use.
Sure. So on the back there, I know with the FTC Everybot, they're using like a herringbone gear, right? On the back end of that. Is that where you're finding that like you're having some backlash on essentially? Is like you're not able to get that secured?
I don't know. It's more of a code thing, I believe. The motors kind of just slip, but we should be able to figure it out and fix it.
For sure. And then on your intake that you were showing on there too, so is that the spec as well? Or if it is, like, have you looked at maybe doing any modifications to make it easier for you? Where have your challenges been with that?
The different things we did, we don't have the wheels they have, so we just have different compliant wheels. And then we've changed the servos, I believe. But the problems we are finding with it is there's too much friction, and so it can't spin. It doesn't spin.
Gotcha. One of the things we were talking about before we came on air too is that you have a couple teams that have created this, and you have a couple different color schemes as well too that you made with these as well. How has your team enjoyed having 3D prints and making custom colors? Is that something that you find enjoyable and you've liked with the Everybot so far?
Yes. We wish we got the rainbow one, but Miss Rebecca says that's for the other team.
We've done a lot of 3D printing this year because we've gotten more 3D printers and more access to it.
We've also gotten a new multicolor 3D printer, so we can be a lot more diverse with the layering of 3D prints.
We 3D printed our signs for our, actual robot, our main one that we're going to use, and we made it so it's reversible, and there's these little clips on the side that are magnetic.
Oh, those are awesome, by the way. Is that from the magnetic side of things? Have you used something like that before?
Not really. I don't think so. A little bit, but this is pretty new since we've never.
I don't think we use magnets for FTC.
It's got a nice ASMR vibe to it going on too, so that's always nice too. With that as well, you know what's really interesting. Like for the actual plates themselves, is that something that you guys have any documentation on? I think there'd be teams who'd be interested in making something like that too.
There's stuff on the build thread about it, but I don't think there's any anything actually out. We'd have to talk to our mentor if she'd be willing to do anything.
Sure.
Or other teams could also reach out if they were interested.
Yeah, I think that would be a great way. I think a lot of teams would really be interested in that as well. Before we get to the other parts you have on there, is there anything from the Everybot that you want to demo on the field or show off at all?
Of
Yes. One of the things we found with the Everybot is that with the wheels we're using, it's too tall to climb because we used different wheels because this is what we had. But they make the robot too tall to fit the climbers under. And we found that if we take out the hard stop, which isn't necessarily like a good thing because that'll make it easier to tip, then you can go back. You can go back far enough to climb. But yeah.
So anything else from the Everybot that you've noticed that you want to share with teams of either things that worked well or things that maybe you would do differently?
I think that's about it. Chris, do you have anything to add about the Everybot?
No.
Yeah, I think that's about it. But we're really happy with the experimenting with it, and we're glad that we kind of took a break from our robot because it was a little challenging for a bit, and it was nice to take a break.
Yeah, and I think one of the ethos of the Everybot system, and you all are involved with FRC too, right? So like on that side, it's like giving teams access to things and then making it your own and seeing what works and doesn't. So it's cool that you've been able to take that, make it your own, even if not everything has worked out well necessarily.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool that you've had the opportunity for that too. Speaking about cool stuff too, we talked about those plates you have. What else do you have on the table there that you want to share?
I'll start with this. So these are drill guides. So we're gonna, for our actual robot, or not the Everybot, the one that we plan to use for competition, we're gonna use these to help make sure that it's really precise. And we used our 3D printer to do these as well. We're gonna redo this one, but this one is good. And then it slide off and on really good and aren't very hard to get off, which is nice. And then for the control hub, we made a little
Shelf.
a little shelf, a little table for it to sit on, so we could fit wires and the gyro underneath. And it's pretty cute. And we have another one.
For the expansion hub.
Yeah. We also have been playing with
Heat inserts.
Yeah, we've been playing with that because we had some trouble with the Everybot. But with it's kind of good.
Basically, we heat up these little brass pieces, and then with a heat gun, and then press them into pre-made holes, like pre-printed holes on the piece, and it'll push and the metal will melt through the piece and lock itself into place. So when the plastic cools, the piece will be there, and you will be able to screw bolts into it.
Oh, that's really cool for sure on that. Now, I know we're going to be jumping into your CAD in a little bit on this too, but kind of walk me through, throughout the next month or so, where is your team looking at getting in terms of assembling and getting together your competition robot?
We plan on actually beginning the we've already some of these pieces like these, I believe, actually I think all of these are for the actual competition robot.
Yeah.
So we're starting to get some pieces together. We're going to start assembly very, very soon.
Like next meeting.
Yeah.
We talked about cutting metal and stuff.
Yes. We're attempting to get it. We're attempting to get more assembly done within the next month before our semester ends. Because when we come back from our winter break, we will be sort of swamped with FRC work as well. So we want to make sure to get as much hard work done as possible before we begin to get double tasked.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, everything comes really quick, right, with the holidays and FRC kickoff, that sort of thing, too. Let's jump into your CAD. Talk to me more about what your robot design is. Break down some key attributes, especially maybe since we've last had you on, which was, quite a few weeks ago. A lot of great progress you're showing here.
We've done a little bit more work on the CAD recently, and we added the signage or the number plate on the side. And we also have a little bit more done, like finalized.
So can you give me a walkthrough more of how this Boathook climber actually works? Like, how are you actually getting up on the rungs?
So what we do is we'll deploy these smaller climbing hooks with this elevator system right here. Yeah, it'll grab it. It'll pull a robot up, and then our boat hook. That is when our boat hook will go and grab the upper bar and pull us above the lower bar, and we'll climb.
So I know you haven't put all this together yet. What is kind of from your objective standpoint, like how quickly do you want to get this climb done?
Probably like 15, like at the slowest.
Sure.
15 seconds. 15 seconds.
Anything else on the robot that you want to highlight or overview?
We have our intake. Let me try to find
We
it
have a
here.
few ideas. So in our first video, we talked about our original design, and we've kind of we haven't worked on that we haven't fleshed it out, but we're enjoying the Everybot design. So we're kind of thinking of that. And there's another one that we've been playing with from another team. The Seattle Solvers, I think. And we're kind of like fluctuating between the two and trying to make it our own and see how we can incorporate that into our design.
Well, a lot of great stuff that your team has going on, so we can't wait to see what your continued progress looks like. Best of luck to you as we, get ready, obviously, for our FRC kickoff coming up. You got a lot with your hands full with that, so keep an eye out on their build blog so we can see continued process for that. Thanks a lot, Precision Guessworks, and good luck as you continue on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.